Hey YouTube, Nick here from X5 Overland. The X5 has just over 230,000 miles on it, and I'm constantly under the hood, so I think it's about time we install some under hood lights. Let's get started. Alright, so here's some of the stuff you're going to need. You're going to need some kind of light. We chose rock lights. These were just cheaper, and we didn't want to use LED strip lights because the heat of the engine bay would melt the glue. You might need riv nuts. We might just use the bolts that came with the rock lights instead of the riv nuts, so that's optional. I ran out of these little spade and what are these called? I don't even know what these are called, but ran out of those, so you're going to need some of these. They're just crimp-on connectors for your wiring. You're going to need heat shrink tubing. Definitely recommend a fuse holder. These are a very cheap way to protect your electronics in your car and also help prevent, electrical fires if something were to go wrong. And this is a hood switch pin. It just breaks the ground when the hood is closed. So that's what's going to be turning off and on our lights. So here on the hood, on this little insulation / sound dampener is where we're going to be installing our rock lights. In our case, ours is really secure on there, but I know that some cars it's really floppy and loose. In that case, you can install it in the actual sheet metal of the hood. We're going to need a new one of them. Whoa, unpainted hood. Save money on paint costs when you don't paint the whole thing. Alright, so we were talking about it, and I think we're just going to do the riv nut idea. We're going to go into these factory holes. There's going to be 3 rock lights total. I see it. And then when we squeeze that riv nut down, it'll stay in there, and then it'll be easier to remove the rock lights. So just remove a screw and you're done. So we're using the little rubber guide that they sent us to put it on a round bar. We're using that as a guide to drill holes in the headliner or the hood liner, whatever you want to call it. And then that's where we'll put our riv nuts. But these have to be a little bit oversized so we can actually know where the riv nuts go and riv nut them to the actual hood. Alright, here's where we're at so far. We've riv nutted these into the little channels that are already in the car, so we didn't have to drill any holes. Now we're just feeding the wires through. And in the headliner, we just cut a little slit. Except on Brian's side, he cut a giant slit. That way when we go to wire it all up, we have the freedom to do all of our wiring, hide all of our wires, and then just slip this cover on, slip the lights through the holes, and then tighten everything down. Well, I've already made a mistake. I'm supposed to have both of these ends tied into this middle one so we can jumper all 3 of them together. So I'll have to cut those apart and do it right the next time. So yeah, since we put the headliner in after the fact, and we're kind of just sandwiching the headliner, we're gonna pull these out and put some Loctite on there so that the screws don't rattle loose. There they are. So we have all the wires run inside underneath that headliner into the hood. They come out through this little grommet. The positive lead will run across the firewall here and terminate at that the jump point. I can give you a little taste of what it's going to look like. That's actually way brighter than I thought it would be. Alright guys, so this is where we decided to put our ground pin switch. As you can see, you push it in, like when the hood's closed, it'll turn the lights off, which is pretty cool. Our positive lead comes down, runs across the firewall, and plugs into our jump start location, the other end of the engine bay. Yeah, we decided to actually hook it up to the back of that switch, or the back of that post, instead of the front. That way we have full access to this. You know, if nothing is, it seems pretty factory. We also put an inline fuse in. It's in here. 5 amp fuse for 3 amps worth of lights, so if anything were to malfunction, it would blow the fuse. And yeah, that's pretty much everything. The lights are flush mount, basically all the way to the hood liner. All the wires are tucked in behind. The only visible wire is that red one, which I kind of wish I would have done in black. But other than that, that's about it. Alright guys, so there it is, how to install under hood lights. Pretty simple. The most annoying part is probably the wiring and how to hook them all together. All 3 of these are hooked in series, down to the positive, and then the actual switch is hooked up to the ground, so it's ground switch. Yeah. If you like this video, check out some of my other ones. We have a few on how to mount a light bar, roof rack, limb risers. We did a lift kit on this Beamer. I think we did a video on how to do this stuff. Maybe I did. I don't know. But yeah, if you like this video, subscribe, like it, share it with your friends. Stay tuned for some other videos too, because I'm hoping to get a few more videos out this year, and hopefully some of those are camping videos. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, I really appreciate it.